Good morning, TIs. It's anikaspar. It's 11:25 a.m. on 4/2/2017. This is just um, uh, a brief update on what we have been enduring here, and just a few other comments on other things that are going on in our community. And I suppose the best word for this will be transmutation, I suppose. Yeah, the targeting since March 18th and the sending of the UN packets has been off the map. So severe that it's now tied to things like finally my cat's coming back, and the minute I am able to physically touch her and almost get her to bring her into the house, the sirens go off. I mean, in that split second, like I make physical touch with her. Mm. And in addition to that, there has been really dramatic electromagnetic pulsing of me at night to such a degree that last night it took 3 hours of a alternative brainwave to release my body and get me to sleep. I can't do this. I'm not going to do this because it's been 2 months of outrageous torture. And I've lost at least 3 weeks in what I would call effective, productive work time. And my health is getting dramatically hit. I'm doing everything in my power, of course, to transcend this, but Jamo, who has been here with me, thank God for small favors, to witness this. And it was this bad prior. I just didn't have a witness, but no, it wasn't this bad. This is, this is like, whoa. Yeah, again, sewer emissions, 4 sewer emissions for 2 hours last night on us. I go to call to get it to be stopped, and of course, I get these belligerent, whatever they are, saying we have to come over, and it's not my house. It's coming from the water treatment plant, and it's been, you know, it's you cannot imagine. And then today, this morning, right after we have a yet another plane directly overhead, after I don't know 15 complaints the FAA since January 18th, we have I don't know what you call them. We're having them examined. Mosquitoes, black mosquitoes show up, and we're in our dry season. There's no pooled water around. There's no reason for them to be around. And they didn't bite us, and yet when we got them, there was already blood in them. And it's just odd because there's no water. And it's just odd because what we notice is the intricate weave of the way they are assaulting us, and particularly me, because they know I know how to do this, and they know I know how to do this successfully. So I'm going to ask right now, we have just raised CORE's fundraising goal to $10,000, and here's why. We need to set up an office, and we need to set up an office, a serious office somewhere off of the mainland of the United States. An American jurisdiction would be best for my disability and other benefits that I have after paying. How much did I pay? I don't even remember now. Over $1 million in taxes. Yeah. So I've raised the fundraising goal to $10,000. I know that may seem like a lot, but the reality is we need to relocate. We need to be out of Florida ASAP. And that's just the reality. If I'm going to survive this and if we're actually going to prevail, we need to get out of here. And I don't think there's going to be anywhere on the continental United States that we're going to be safe, because what I do is very effective and always has been. And I see very clearly now, after working with Marco Rubio's office, and God bless them because they have tried to mitigate my targeting. There's no question. We can see the results of it when they do try. That the true black op portion of these programs is satanically or sadistically or criminally insane. And so even though we are seeing intervention from Rubio's office, without question, they're doing their job. I know they are. It's really clear they have no control over these people. They have no control over these programs. And that's probably why we're seeing nobody really help to date, because no one has control over the psychopaths who actually roll out the deepest and darkest of these programs. And Jamo and I and CORE in general, our team, we need to get to a safe place. Our goal ultimately, as I had mentioned before, is to work with other clients as well. And if I had been able to, they've invaded the computer, I would have been selling my artwork 6 months ago. But you cannot imagine what is done to in my program. It is 24/7 intimate weave up and down. There is not a piece of electronic that has not been affected. The refrigerator has been hit and it's starting to break down. So we really need your help. If you want us to be able to do this correctly, we need your help. And I'm sorry if people don't like understand why we need to get somewhere very safe, and I mean off the mainland. Because when you get off the mainland, people are like, really? I'm not going to torture these people. The hell with you. Unless and it's a very, very weak economy that's already criminal with drugs and, that whole thing. You, you're just not going to see it the way you see it on the mainland of the United States. Just not, you're not. And I don't care what anybody says anywhere. There might be a few people, usually it's like the math prodigies or people like myself who have that, like, what do you call? I call it, my mom used to call it a direct line to the divine. Um, those people are very severely targeted just because of that direct line to the divine, math prodigies, etc. Those people always are very heavily targeted. But having said that, there are just places in the world, and I've selected 3 where they just have shut down the entire system. So it's very difficult for the system to infiltrate them. And that's where CORE needs to go, because I'm not going to survive this. There's just no way. The heart palpitations I had last night were so, there's no way I'm going to survive this. I'm sorry. So, because it's 24/7. It's out there. And it's been like this since March 18th, very aggressively. So, as I've said before, we need your assistance and we need to relocate ASAP. And that's going to be a priority for CORE right now, because our effectiveness and our efficiency is dramatically undermined. My health is, I could have a heart attack at any moment this juncture, because my heart has been so compromised with the electromagnetic frequency pulsing here in this space since August, and very aggressively, basically for 6 years. That's why I look the way I do. Yeah. So that's number 1. Number 2, I understand there's a worldwide program being generated by Catherine Horton's group. Catherine Horton and I spoke extensively for about 8.5 hours on January 18th about the way to approach all and any programs on behalf of targets very comprehensively. And given the fact that she is a purported PhD and Oxford educated, I was under the impression she understood my English, and under the impression that she understood that the types of tacks that she and her group have been taking are only ultimately damaging to our community. Now, having said that, I do appreciate the fact that they're getting anything done, and I do appreciate Everyday Concerned Citizen by Romola, because she does some really incredible work there. I don't agree with the tone in which people are conducting themselves, because I think it's incredibly alienating, because at the end of the day, the people who have control over these programs are the black operatives, and they don't give a flying F the way you approach them, except when you don't approach them with respect. That ensures they will do absolutely nothing with you under any circumstance, anywhere, at any time. Because the fact of the matter is, they are brilliant enough to have put together an incredible scheme to capture the earth in the past 70, 80 years. And we must give them that. So if we approach them inappropriately or with grave disrespect, it does nothing for us. Nothing. It ensures a lack of success. The massive emailing program, as I said on January 18th to Catherine, and I've said many times since then to many people, no one has to respond to your email. Technically, it can be a complete wipe. Technically, it may never even get there. It may be completely intercepted. So if you suddenly are bombing around for 2 months right as my media campaign is launched, which is very controlled opposition, by the way, the probability you're going to have success is very low because they can intercept at any time. Two, even if it gets through, nobody you send these emails to has any obligation to respond or even acknowledge receipt of them, because at any time, given the lack of security in the world, they could say, well, we don't know who this is. We don't know if it's true or accurate. We have no idea. We get 500 emails from crazies because that's what they do. They say, oh, look at all these crazies. They're at it again. And they don't have to do anything. So while I respect all programs to bring awareness to our plight and all attempts to try to mitigate our plight, I just disagree and have disagreed with this kind of program that has never worked for 10 years, probably will not work again, and only dilutes my efforts and Core's efforts, especially when it comes to media. But then again, there is the wheat and there is the chaff, and Core is not the chaff. So I want you, TIs, to think very carefully again before you do anything that could potentially harm your name and your position before persons of power. Because the bottom line at the end of the day on this is that you make friends with honey, not vinegar. And when an individual politician and or others get suddenly 500 emails that are since Catherine's team is copying exactly my entire strategy and has been for over 2 months, I assume she's going to give you a letter to work with, and hopefully it's not agitative, aggressive, nasty, or an otherwise alienating in tone, because that's not going to work. And I just disagree with the basic program. And because it's obvious it doesn't work. However, having said that, if you have to do it politely, do it diplomatically, do it only with facts and evidence, and make sure that you don't alienate the person you're addressing in any way. And if it does get us some kind of awareness and exposure that is good, I will be happy for that. However, I suspect that's not what's going to happen, because the tone of the campaign alone is just like when it was burning down the house. The destructiveness of the entire meme of Stop 007, and I'll say this to your face, Catherine, and your crew's face, is not beneficial to our group at all. In fact, it is attracting, as you, as a physicist or purported physicist, should know, the exact energy that is detrimental to our group. So, having said that, because I'm done with this Stop 007 intellectual property theft crazy lunacy tunes that is doing nothing different for their entire time. So I say again to you, TIs, to please be very careful the way you conduct yourself in the world. Stay high and dry. Stay in the greatest integrity. Conduct yourself as though you were before the Supreme Court of the United States. Conduct yourself as though you were before your source, before anyone whose favor, understanding, and positive interaction you are trying to cultivate. Okay? This is rule number one. It's unbelievable that our community would continue to pursue avenues that are detrimental to it. And the only solution I have to that is either these people are in complete mind control and therefore puppets of the black ops who run these programs, or they are what's called control opposition agents. And it could be either. So, enough of me. Any questions from anyone, please contact us after Tuesday because we're very, very busy tomorrow. And I'm trying to recover from. I can't even. I can't even. I got I got a pentagram sent to me last night. A pentagram with the number 6 in it. I never have that stuff from them. So they're getting very aggressive and they're chem spraying wildly because that's the only way they can do their stuff. And I had that under control for weeks with the FAA. So now I've got to send another FAA and have to deal with their shenanigans. So please contact us after Monday. We may be reached at core, CORE, the number 8, the number 8, the number 8, miracles at gmail.com, or at Annie, A-N-I, Kaspar, K-A-S-P-A-R at gmail.com, or at 941-356-8007. Please understand that in the next months, of course, as the media campaign is aggressively pursued, we're going to be very, very busy, but we are filing with Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and the National ACLU, as well as many others, but through personal contact. I haven't been following up yet on Class Action Council because the people that I've approached are really the best in the world. And since we don't have a letter of rejection from them yet, I'm waiting until the press release is out. I'd like to be able to go back to them with some press coverage. And even if I don't have press coverage, once I can confirm the UN filings are there and that the press release has gone out and we are commencing a major media campaign worldwide ad infinitum, and that we have these other awareness campaigns going on, although I may disagree with them, I think we have a much better chance for getting the kind of legal representation that we need. Another project that we're working on is specifically with female legal scholars who have already indicated their support for civil, human, and constitutional rights, and they will be approached this week as well. So we're on it. We need your contributions at Justice Rising. Please look below. And we need you to be very prudent with whom you're working and what you're doing. Please do not in any way, shape, or form harm the terrain for TIs. Conduct yourself in the highest integrity. Catherine, you can't really steal all of my things. It's really ridiculous by now. And please, 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 please be prudent. That's the word, prudent. Be prudent in all of your actions as you move forward. This is one of the reasons why CORE is a very tight-knit team and group of individuals who are conducting themselves in the highest possible integrity and impeccability that will attract even the blackest operatives because they have an enormous amount of respect for individuals who are able to rise above any situation and conduct themselves in impeccable honor, dignity, and integrity. They do, because they don't have it anywhere in their lives and in their interactions. So to them, it's like coming upon gold. They love to observe it. They love to try to understand it because they don't have it at all. So you need to give them something that they don't have in order to get them even to the table, because that's who you need to get to the table. Nobody else is going to be able to change this except them. And here they're letting me know that they're letting me know that the video is far too long. And probably because I've cited Catherine Horton's name far too many times. But Catherine, you have a big problem on your hands now, and it's a legal one. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for all of your support, and for the new TIs coming aboard on CORE who are so very seriously and severely targeted, primarily because of their intellectual and their intellectual and spiritual acumen and dimension. I'm with you, and I'm so sorry. and we will prevail. We need to come together in the best frequency possible to attract the best frequency possible. Blessings, everyone. Have a beautiful week and send great mojo to the media campaign. Thank you.